Hi, welcome to Shop Stop. This week we want to talk about chisels.
What we're going to talk about a little bit is reconditioning and showing you some things that can go wrong if you don't recondition chisels. And we're going to show two different types. We've got a wood chisel and a cold chisel.
I think the thing to think about with cold chisels, we all focus on the end that's actually doing the work. We want to make sure that we've got a good edge on it, but probably one of the things we also ought to focus on a little bit, especially if we're using our chisels a lot, is the other end of it that we're actually going to be hammering on.
And you can see this one's been beveled, and that's proper. This one is what we call mushroomed, and if I turn this over, you can see what can happen with a mushroom type end on it. It'll break off, and if you're not wearing your eye protection, that could enter your eye as well.
So think about your chisels, how you're using them, and one of the things you want to do is take care of the things as best you can. But we're going to demonstrate a little bit now about how to put the proper edge on a cold chisel and how you're going to approach that with a bench grinder.
Okay, what you want to do is go over to your grinder, make sure you put your safety personal protection on, and you want a degree of about 60 degrees on that outer end. And what I like to do is lay that up there and hold my hand where I can slide that thing back and forth across and take it and dip it, and that way I can leave my hand at the same location, dip it in the water, because you don't want this tip to get so hot that it turns blue. It's important that you keep that cooled, and then go back across it until you get that edge done, and then you flip it over and then do the same thing and try to maintain that 60 degree.
I think the thing that you think about with the cold chisels is you are putting the same bevel on both sides of it, whereas with the wood chisel, it's a little bit different situation.
The wood chisel, we're going to do what's called a hollow grind, and we're going to just be grinding one side of this chisel. And you want this distance between the tip of the chisel to the back of the grind about 2 to 2.5 times the thickness of the chisel. So the same thing applies. I like to lay that on there and then put my hand there and then drag it back and forth across, keeping that cool by dipping it in water, and then back to the grinder and taking my time until I get that edge on there. And it will put a wire edge on the back side, and you can take that off with a whetstone when you do your final sharpening on your whetstone.
And I think the thing to think about with your chisels, is the better shape they're in, the easier they're going to work, and then the less likely you're going to be of having any kind of an accident with them.
So keep your chisels in good condition. It'll keep them safe and keep them sharp.
That's it this week for Shop Stop. We'll see you next time.